What's going on, everybody? It's been a minute, but I'm back with another episode of D-Will Fitness Live. This is episode 8, and as you see by the title here, MythBuster. That's right. So today, I'm going to be busting all the common health and fitness myths, a ton that I hear on the daily, and I'm going to prove them wrong. So I have a laundry list of those, and then I have some questions you guys have sent in as well over to my email that I'll be answering at the end of this for this week's Q&A. So I appreciate you tuning in, whether you're tuning in now live or in the future and you watch the replay. I really appreciate it. On top of that, if you guys do get something from this video, a like, a comment, a share goes a long way if you learn something. So just take that as the cost of admission for listening to this. If you take something away, give me something right back, and I definitely appreciate it. And like I said, it goes a long way and helps my business grow. So I appreciate it a lot. So with that being said, let's jump right into this. We got another awesome episode this week. I have compiled these myths, I've been thinking about these, and I'm ready to bust them. So we're going to jump into this. So number 1, I had to put this top in first. Carbs make you fat. Wrong, okay? Wrong. The answer though is, which carbs are you eating? All right. So I eat tons and tons and tons of carbs, but I'm not gaining any weight. Why is that? Because I'm eating good carbs. I'm sticking away from the bad ones. All right. So, basically we break it down into 2 categories: whole carbs or refined carbs. Whole carbs are going to be your fruits, your vegetables, potatoes, whole grains, right? While the refined ones are your sugary drinks, pop, so forth, sweets, white bread, things like that. Those ones will make you put on fat if you're in a caloric, intake that's higher than what you are burning. So, this is the thing. It's all about moderation first off, but also what types of carbs you're eating. Because the good ones, the whole carbs, those are going to be fuel source for you guys. Do not refrain from eating them. Everybody has to have a different goal for when it comes to carbs, depending on how much you're training and where your metabolism is and everything like that. But don't be scared of carbs. All right, carbs is not the reason why you maybe are putting on body fat or you're overweight. So stop saying that. Number 2, you need protein within the anabolic window. So who has heard this before? We hear it all the time. It's actually been said for years. And let me just clarify what the anabolic window is. It's that half hour to an hour after you train. That's when you need to get protein in your system. Otherwise, you'll lose gains or you'll lose muscle strength or you won't recover like you're supposed to. That's absolutely wrong, guys. It doesn't matter when you get your protein in, your daily allotted goal. It just matters that you get it in the first place. So whether you do it all in the morning, at night, spread out, whatever, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So don't think that you have to get some protein in immediately after your workout. That is absolutely wrong. Now, some people like to drink a protein shake after they work out, and maybe that's just an easy thing to just, sustain because it's like a ritual, and make sure it helps you get that protein goal, so you'll drink a shake after. That's cool. You're doing that just because it reminds you to do it. That's awesome. But don't feel that you have to rush home, make a shake real quick, otherwise you're going to lose gains because you didn't get it in that window of a half hour to an hour after your workout. So that is completely wrong. Studies have shown that, and that's all I got to say about that one. Third one, here we go. You should stretch before every workout. No. In fact, I never stretch before any workout, and I've, knock on wood, have never injured myself in the gym in a decade training. And here's the reason. Now, I'm going to clarify this. You should warm up, and I'll get to that in a minute, but I don't stretch as part of my warm-up. A lot of people stretch. And actually, studies have shown that stretching the muscle could reduce the strength in the muscle by 30%. And lengthening the muscle when you're stretching it could actually increase your ability to pull a muscle or hurt yourself in the gym. So I do not stretch before my workout. Now, I do stretch after my workout. That's a great time to stretch, just kind of to stretch out that fascia tissue, that scar tissue that builds up on the muscle, especially when you're strength training, and that'll help the recovery. But I definitely don't stretch before my workout. Now, what do I do before my workout if I don't stretch? I warm up. So what does a warm up look like? A couple 5-10 minutes on the treadmill, just get the blood flowing, get my heart rate up. That's a great time for me to just contemplate, think about my workout at hand that I'm about to put myself through. If I'm doing like legs, for instance, I'll do some body weight squats. I like to do movements that mimic the movements I'm about to do, just with really light weight or no weight at all, and just really get blood to the muscle that I'm about to target. But I do not stretch. All right, so you should not stretch before a workout. That is a big common myth that people have been doing for years, and it actually could be hurting you, all right, in more ways than one. Next one here, you can spot reduce. And what do I mean by that? That means if you want to lose your stomach, you're going to go do core workouts if you want to lose body fat on your stomach, or if you want to tone it up or so forth. That's absolutely wrong. So if you want to lose body fat in any certain areas, you're not just going to go target that area, okay? So I can't tell you how many times I go to the gym and I see someone that is extremely overweight on the ab machine rocking back and forth, and they're just uneducated. They just don't know better. But I'm here to tell you that is not the way you're going to lose that midsection. How you're going to do that, for example, is to be on a caloric deficit, number one, and making sure your nutrition is on point. You're burning more calories than you're intaking. Your body will just lose that body fat wherever it feels it wants to. Now, here's the thing. We hold the majority of our body fat in our midsection. So that's going to be one of the last places you see it clinging on. But it's also going to be one of the first places you see you're losing it as well. So if you get into a point where I don't think I'm not losing anything here, or it's not coming off as fast as you want it to, just be patient. You'll get there, but you cannot target that area when it comes to losing body fat, okay? Next question. Eating before bed will make you gain weight. No. It doesn't matter when you get your food in, guys. Eating before bed will not make you gain weight. Eating more food than you should be eating, or eating the wrong foods, is what's going to make you gain weight, not before you go to bed. In fact, I eat a lot before I go to bed. Not a lot, but I eat more often than not within that half hour before I go to bed, just because I'm eating all day long at different times. And sometimes I just don't even think about it. I just make sure that I get my daily calorie and macronutrient goal in every day. That's what matters. So if you still at the end of the night before you go to bed have to eat, a little bit more protein, carbs, cool. But don't worry about, you can't eat right before you go to bed. That's just wrong, okay? Next one. A cheat meal can ruin a whole week's progress. I hear this all the time. People had an amazing week. They stuck to their diet all week. They worked out, and then on Saturday they had some pizza, and they just feel so guilty about it. You can't throw 6.5 days of progress and good work out in one meal, guys. It's impossible. So if you continue to do that, it's obviously going to slow your progress down, but it's not going to throw everything you did the week previous and all that hard work you put in just one meal. So that's not going to happen. All right? So don't be too hard on yourself. Just try to do the best you can. Next one here. Lifting weights. This is a big one. I hear this all the time, and I'm here to clarify and put the flag in the ground on this. Lifting weights will make women look bulky, and they should not lift heavy. So the first part of that, lifting weights will make women look bulky. That's absolutely wrong. A lot of women, though, do feel this way. I think it's becoming more and more known that this is not the case, but I'm here to say it is not the case, okay? So here's the deal. A lot of women will stick to doing cardio because they don't want to get bulky or put on muscle. Here's the deal. You guys aren't made of the same things up as men have, right? So that's the first thing you got to know, all right? You don't have a bunch of testosterone running through your body. You're going to be able to put on muscle really easy, all right? Now, what strength training is going to do most importantly for you, and I know women want to hear this, it's going to shape the body the way you want it to be shaped. When you just do cardio, you just lose body fat that's covering everything, but it doesn't shape your body the way you want it to. The frame stays the same, okay? What strength training is going to do is going to shape the body the way you want it to, and also, most importantly, help you increase that metabolism. because if you can put on some lean muscle and you do strength training, it's going to increase your metabolism and it will help you just burn more calories naturally, and that is going to produce a longer lasting effect for you to keep weight off once you lose it. And also, a lot of times lifting weights versus cardio is going to burn more calories. You won't think of it because maybe you sweat more when you're on the treadmill versus when you're lifting weights. You feel like then you're burning more calories. That's not the case. You should have a well-rounded program of strength training and cardio, okay? Don't just stick to cardio. Women, you should be lifting weights. Second part of this, though, was they should not lift heavy. Now, what is heavy? Now, granted, you shouldn't be never lifting anything too heavy where you're breaking form, right? Nobody should, men or females. But don't be afraid to lift some heavier weight for, what you might think is heavy. As long as you're doing it with proper form, it's not too heavy for you, all right? So you don't need to be lifting light weights and, high reps to lose body fat. And again, that's actually another one that I got coming up, so I'll save that. But women, start lifting weights. If you're not, you'll see a lot more benefits from that, and I think you guys will enjoy the results, okay? Next one here, consuming cholesterol is bad for you, all right? Well, here to say it is not necessarily bad. So a lot of times cholesterol gets a bad rap, and there's more and more studies coming out that, first off, 85% of the cholesterol in our body is actually made up of our genetics and the particular person, while 15% of the cholesterol in our body is actually what comes from our diet. Only 15%, guys. So first off, cholesterol actually helps create hormones in our body, vitamin D, and then also aids in digestion, which is huge, crucial. So it serves a purpose. But cholesterol is more of a genetic thing when it comes to causing heart disease and so forth versus your actual diet. So there are some foods that have healthy cholesterol in them, and those ones you should be taking. And I'm going to get to another one of those actually here in a second. Next myth that we're about to bust. Just because someone looks healthy means they are. And now, this isn't one I always necessarily hear, but I feel like people imply a lot. And I really want to break this down. When you guys go to the mall or you go to the grocery store or whatever, and you look at the magazine rack and you see that model on the cover with the six-pack and they're shredded down to 5% body fat, or the bodybuilder that's just jacked, right? Just jacked. And I'll look at those and be, man, I want to get humongous. I want the veins popping. But I'm sitting here today and I'm healthier than that person. Why? Because when they're at that really, really low body fat percentage and they're dieting down to that point, I guarantee you guys, if they went to the doctor and they got their blood tested, it wouldn't be all out of whack. It really damages the body to take your body fat percentage to that low, all right? And also, skinny people also aren't healthy. You always see someone that maybe is, maybe an ideal body of what you want it to be, or they're not overweight. Just because they're not overweight doesn't mean that they're healthy. They could be, drinking and smoking and, eating like crap, but they just don't have a lot of body fat on them. That does not make them healthy. So, but the biggest thing I want you guys to take from this is stop glorifying, all the fitness models and all the big bodybuilders and all that thing like that. That's why bodybuilders all the time, well, granted, they're some of them are on steroids and other things and doing, eating large quantities of food and dieting down and bulking up and everything else like that, where it's really damaging their liver and their organs and their heart and all this other stuff, where really if they got their blood tested versus, somebody that are listening to this, you might not think that they're they think that they're in better shape than you are. Well, that's not the case. All right, you might be in better shape than someone that just stepped on a bodybuilding stage yesterday. So just get that totally out of your mind. All right, just because someone looks healthy doesn't mean they are. Next one here, you can outwork a bad diet. Can't be done. Can't be done. Now it could, maybe help in the fact that you might not gain, body fat as quick, but you're still going to gain body fat and get overweight eventually if you continue to eat like crap, no matter how much you're working out. All right. There's people that I go to the gym with and that, I'll see them there every time I'm there, but they don't progress and they're still overweight. But I know once they leave those doors, the other 23 hours of the day, they're eating crap, right? That's just a simple fact. You cannot outwork a bad diet no matter how hard you try. So I'll tell people, even before they even join a gym, they want to go join a gym, they want to start a new plan, get your food right and then think about working out. Because if you don't have your food right, you're wasting your time, right? Next question. To get shredded and lose fat, you have to lift weights with high reps. That's absolutely wrong. A lot of people associate that the only way to, get shredded or lose body fat is when you're lifting weights, to be doing high reps, lightweight. Now, that's one way to do it, but it should be a mixture of also heavier weights too and some lower reps. It doesn't really matter as long as you're getting a great workout, guys, and switching things up. So that is not the all and be all. So don't be afraid to lift some heavier weights. Next question, or myth, should I say. If you stop working out, muscle will turn to fat. No, that's not going to happen either. You cannot turn muscle to fat by when you just stop working out. Now, if you stop working out, usually your metabolism is going to drop because, like we've talked about, number one is muscle increases your metabolism. The more muscle you have in your body, it is going to increase your metabolism. So if you start to lose the muscle, your metabolism is going to decrease. Also, strength training increases your metabolism and your metabolic rate. So if you stop strength training, your metabolism is going to go down. So you're not going to be able to eat as much. And people are still going to eat usually the food that they were eating when they were working out. And you can't eat as much if you're not working out because you're not burning as much. So the fat's going to start to pile on. And then usually when people aren't going to the gym, they care a little less about their diet. And you guys know I'm right when I say this. They play off of each other. I've said this. Clients, if past clients, if you're listening to me, I've said this. Working out and nutrition play off of each other. When you're working out, it's really hard to go home and have something crappy because you just busted your ass a second ago at the gym. Why are you going to eat that? But if you're not working out, you're like, crap, I'll eat whatever, right? So that's the case when it comes to that myth. If you start working out, muscle will not turn to fat. But those are the reasons why maybe you're putting on some body fat. Next myth here. Training a muscle group more than once a week will cause overtraining. It means you can't train the same body part more than once a week. I read this all the time and I just don't even know what to say. So I train every muscle group twice a week minimum. And it's usually twice a week because I do train really hard. But I don't know where people get this. Overtraining is one thing that I think people just like to say so they don't have to work out hard. I don't know. But a good time of rest between hitting a muscle group again is usually about 48 to 72 hours. 40 hours minimum, but then 72 hours is usually when I do it. Every 3-4 days, I'll rotate different muscle groups between I hit them. So if I hit legs on Monday, I might not hit them again until Thursday or Friday. So to give you guys an idea. But you can train muscle groups more than once a week, okay? Next myth. You should only eat egg whites and not the yolks. All right. So the yolks are not the devil. All right. The yolks are not the devil. Yolks actually contain good cholesterol along with multiple vitamins and omega-3s, guys. All right. So now if you got like a fat goal, and all my clients, for example, have a macronutrient goal, and if you have to eat, let's say 60 grams of fat a day is your goal, and you're trying to save a little bit of fat and not rack it up, for instance, with eating those eggs at breakfast, maybe you'll take a yolk out of eggs, or one of the 3 eggs you're eating, and save 6 grams of fat. That's usually the average amount of fat per yolk, because those do add up quick. That's fine, but don't be afraid to eat the yolk, all right? The yolk has properties in it, like I just mentioned, that are actually beneficial to you. So don't be afraid to eat the yolk as part of the egg. They get a bad rap, so. They also taste better than just eating the egg whites by themselves. I think you all will probably agree with that. Here's one that's been getting really popular. A lot of people are doing this whole detox thing before they're dieting. Starting a diet with a detox is the best way to do it, or is great. To be honest, they're usually a waste of time. and I'm gonna, just point it out there. Your kidneys and your liver, guys, is what does detoxing for you. That's its job. We have a detoxer built into us. So most people that are doing these detoxing things before they start a diet are doing it because they've just been running themselves into the ground. Maybe they are someone that drinks a lot of alcohol, or they do a bunch of other crap, and they want to just start from scratch. Well, their body has been doing that for them. Now, the biggest thing, if you guys want to start a detox and start flushing out some of those toxins and help your kidneys and your liver, just start drinking some more water. Because usually these people that need to do the detoxes are drinking a lot of caffeine, a lot of alcohol. Water is going to help because you're most likely probably a little dehydrated from that. So the best detox you can do is get us to be drinking some more water. So give that a try versus doing a detox cleanse, okay? And making somebody rich that's selling that on Instagram with waist trimmers. All right. What do I got left here? One more, and then we're going to jump into Q&A. Appreciate you all watching this. Next one, cardio is the quickest way to lose weight. I think I kind of mentioned in bits and pieces earlier here, but that's absolutely wrong. Cardio is not the quickest way to lose weight. All right, we talked about it, but strength training, a lot of times you're going to burn more calories than doing cardio. All right, and we talked about more muscle you put on your body, the higher your metabolism is, the more best your body is working for you. And your body working better for you when you have more muscle on you because it increases your metabolism, and strength training increases your metabolism. So a good, well-rounded program is always the answer, but cardio is not the quickest way to lose weight. So if you got a wedding coming up or you got a vacation, don't just be like, I want to go on the treadmill, go to the gym and get on the treadmill 4 or 5 days a week for an hour. Lift some weights, even if it's for less time. It could be more beneficial to you. All right, so that's a wrap, guys. That was like 16 or 17 common myths. There's more out there, but I wanted to, be decent on time here. But hopefully you guys learned something from that. Some of these just boggle my mind, and every single one of these I busted today, and it's tried and true, and there's evidence to prove that is not the case, okay? And I provided a lot of that to you guys today, so hopefully you learned something here. All right, so the moment a lot of people wait for, because you sent in your questions, I have this week's Q&A. Just a few questions here. Again, if you do want to send in your questions for the next episode, send those to mrdwolffitness@gmail.com, and I will get your question answered on here if I haven't answered it already. If you do send in a question that I have answered and I don't answer, it's most likely I've answered in previous videos, and I usually send you a reply back and tell you that. But if not, go back and watch one of those videos and you will see your question answered. All right, so number one question here. What's better, free weights or machines? Okay, they both serve their purpose. I'm an advocate of both. I use both in my training. So number one, free weights though, I love the free range of motion, right? Machines can sometimes be restrictive on how short, tall you are, wide you are, your arm length, leg length, all that stuff, right? Free weights are great for that. And I would say probably free weights is usually 70% of my workouts, maybe even more. But there is a great place for machines. The machines have come a long way. They sometimes can just get you into sometimes a better position, but you can change things up more quicker. And they can hit different things from different muscle groups from different angles on these machines and really produce a great overload. Where dumbbells, you gotta go get a different dumbbell or kettlebell and you gotta change it up all the time, where machines are real quick and easy. And I would like to say machines are usually easier for people that are just getting into strength training because it guides you through the movement and you really can't break form a whole lot on machines. Now, granted, a lot of people find a way to do so, but dumbbells, you have to have some stability working with. Some free weights, you have to have some stability work with. And if you don't have that, sometimes they can be a little difficult when you're starting off. So machines are a great way for people to just get, acclimated with doing strength training. Next question here. It's a great question. How old should a child be before lifting weights? Now, This is another, it's honestly a one I probably could have put up in the myth category that we just got done talking about, but that kids shouldn't be lifting weights or, it'll stunt their growth. Studies have shown that that's not going to happen either. Now, kids are growing, and people before thought that stunt your growth. That's not the case at all, because kids nowadays, well, there's the obesity, epidemic in America with children, that they should be doing more activity, and lifting weights is not going to hurt them. It will help them get stronger, but little boys don't have testosterone range in their body where they're going to put on all this muscle, and they're just going to get out of proportion for someone their age and their size. It actually, any exercise for kids will be great, and if lifting weights is something that they are interested in, parents should not be shy of introducing it to them. Now, doing it with form is going to be key. So hiring their kid a trainer, or parents, if you're knowledgeable in it, showing them the ropes was going to be the key, so they don't hurt themselves, but it's not going to stunt their growth. So the biggest thing is just making sure that they're doing it safely and proper. Next question here. Is it okay to work out when you're stressed? Yeah, I work out. Every time I work out, I'm stressed. Just kidding. Honestly, working out stressed is one of my best stress relievers is working out. So number one. Now, I'll tell you, the more stressed you are, it can be detrimental to your gains and your ability to lose body fat, because I've talked about the stress hormone on here before, cortisol, which is going to increase your ability to put on body fat. But don't feel like you can't work out because you're stressed out. If anything, it should get your mind off things for a little bit. It always has served that purpose for me. Next question. I have dropped all the weight I wanted to already, but have lost motivation since. Any suggestions? All right, so it looks like you've lost a bunch of weight. Awesome job. You lost all the weight you wanted to, but you're lacking motivation. Maybe probably because you don't have a goal in mind anymore, right? You achieved it. You're like, hell, I look great. What now? Now, this is something that a lot of people that lose weight and then put their body fat back on and put the body fat back on afterwards. This is the reason, because they just don't have like a goal in mind, or they've achieved it and the body fat goes back on. You always got to find a goal. Always have something you're shooting for, guys. And I have fallen into this rabbit hole before too, where I dieted down or I bulked up and I'm like, damn, I look great. Now what? And then things start to taper off a little bit. Or my workouts aren't the best because I'm just going to the gym to go to the gym. So you always have to have a goal in mind. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. Maybe you want to lose an inch off your waist, or you want to put an inch on your arms, or you want to shape your butt a little bit more, or whatever. Or you got a vacation coming up in a few months that you want to be even a little bit better looking for, or a bit more shape for. Find something. All right? So that way it keeps you motivated, gives you something to push for and strive for, and continue to push on. All right? So that's what I would suggest. Find something. There's got to be something that you want, you need, that's going to motivate you. Maybe it's just you're scared to death to go the way back you were before, right? Look at those old pictures. You've come so far, it sounds like, that maybe you just need to take a good look at that, and that's your motivation every day, because you remember how shitty you felt before. You remember how shitty you felt when you looked in the mirror, or how great you feel now, the energy levels that you have achieved by getting in shape, and you don't want to go back to being tired and sluggish, right? That's your motivation, all right? That's a big thing that comes up with a lot of people, and even clients that I have had, where they will achieve so much, and I just have to remind them how far they've come. And when they really look back and they go, wow, this is it's night and day difference, but we forget the way we were before and how we felt. And that's to scare the hell out of me, right? You guys have seen my progression pictures from where I was years ago. It scares me to death to ever go back to living that way, or being that unhealthy, or being that skinny and all that stuff and not being healthy. So just use whatever you can as motivation. Find a goal and set it. And after you achieve that, give yourself another goal. Just start that process over. Because obviously it looks like here that you set a goal for yourself and you achieved it. So you are someone that can, that puts their mind to something, gets it done. Next question. Is it true some people can lose weight faster than others? That is absolutely true. So it is true some people can lose weight faster than others, but it's not necessarily because they're gifted. Sorry about that. If they were blessed, right? That's not the case. So a lot of people might have, a higher metabolism than you. Maybe it's because of their age. Maybe it's because they strength train like we talked about before, or they have a more active job, or so many things come into play here where, they might just have a higher metabolism, a higher metabolic rate, and they're burning more calories naturally. So in a sense, they will just burn body fat quicker than you. It also comes into where your starting point is. Someone that's really overweight and they got a really low metabolism compared to someone that's not might take longer to lose weight than it did for someone that doesn't weigh as much. So there's tons of contributing factors, but it is true some people can lose weight faster than others. Next question. How frequently should someone change up their workout routine? All right. So number one reason to change up your workout routine is if you have felt like you have plateaued. All right. That's usually a big reason why people do plateau. Their body does get used to the stress that we put on it. And a lot of times when you're doing the same thing all the time, you're not getting the best workouts because you're just kind of going through the motions, right? And number two reason that you should switch up your workouts is if you're not having fun anymore, guys. You should not dread going to the gym and working out. But if you're doing the same thing all the time, you feel like a hamster on a wheel, I could see why you're losing that motivation. So switching it up, make it fun. I really, every time I hit a plateau, some things I'm honest with myself. I will go back to the drawing board and I get back to really, especially for myself, writing up my workouts before they go to the gym, switching it up, not doing something I've done in a long time, keeping my body guessing, and I want to make sure I'm having fun at the gym. All right, it's my favorite thing to do, and I want to continue to keep it that way. But if I go to the gym and do the same stuff all the time, it's going to get pretty repetitive and boring. So when those things start to pop up, that should be when you should be changing up your workout. So that's the last question of the day, guys. Woo! I don't even know how long I've been talking. Usually I look at these videos at the end and I'm like, God, I was talking to myself for that long. I'm not really talking to myself because I'm talking to you people out there that do watch this now or in the future. So I appreciate it. I love all the feedback I've been getting from these videos. I promise the next one won't take as long as it did from the last one. So be on the lookout for that. I do have some other awesome pieces of content coming this week. So be on the lookout for those as well, either on my Instagram, DWillFitness, or Facebook here at DWillFitness. If you did find something from this video to be informative, or you did learn something today, give me a like, share this video with a friend. It goes a long way. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. So I appreciate it. And again, send your questions in for the next episode. We will talk to you guys soon.